the review. We're going to take a little pop quiz today too. As a review for the review, it's not worth the points. It's just to see what you know. It's not to necessarily give or take points away. It's just so we know where we're at and what we're doing. I kind of want to go over. So here is today.
Good morning. Today is Friday, October 3rd.
They're finally done talking and now I'm talking. Okay, so review quiz today. Test on the 7th. I'm gone the entire week of homecoming.
Why?
Because I reserved you that whole week. So I won't be here that entire week.
Why?
Which is okay. It's the last week of the quarter, and I said I don't do things that count on the last week of the quarter during the last week of the quarter.
When we have a sub, what do we do?
I'll have
Can I listen to games?
lessons for
You're
the
just
whole
gonna
week.
hang out.
No, you're not going to just
Oh,
hang
they're not
out.
going to explain
Well,
as well as you can.
record it. It'll be me. You'll be watching me on videos with exercises and quizzes and stuff. So you will be working. But just so you know, I'll be gone that whole week, and grades are due then.
We only have 2 classes that week.
That week, yes, I know. So anyway, let's get going with our review for the test for this week. Basically, we're going to go over the different ICANNs and the items that you guys said that you didn't know. So looking at the analysis, everyone says they can use BIOS to configure a PC in the class. When we're talking about BIOS to configure the PC, obviously I can't test you on that, other than maybe give you a BIOS screen capture or something that I've taken a picture of. But from us playing with the different computer machines that we had set up here, we know that BIOS looks BIOS looks different on different computers, so it's not like an easy thing to just go, hey, here's BIOS, because different companies make BIOS. We looked at BIOS on Dell and saw that even the Dell BIOSes were different on 3 different computers. You're going to have to call back after this class, thank you.
Didn't know it was a class. Sorry. Never mind.
Oh, man.
We're already missing time today, aren't we? We can't have any more interruptions. Okay, so explain what an operating system is and does.
Yes.
Hopefully at this point we can explain what an operating system is and does. An operating system is the major program that gives us access to our computer, right? It's the biggest piece of software that runs off of primary or secondary storage. Secondary storage. That provides our GUI.
What?
What does GUI stand for?
GUI. Oh, it means,
It provides our graphical
I can't remember.
user
Interface. Nailed it.
interface. I know it. Once you gave me the first 3 letters of everything.
I know.
Okay, the GUI is the graphical user interface. This is what lets us interact with our hardware. Without the operating system, we can't do anything. We just have a PC that's sitting there humming, right? We need the operating system, no matter which kind we have, in order to interact with our hard drive, to interact with our hardware, to open up our programs, to get to our data. It provides that graphical user interface. It didn't used to be a graphical user interface. It used to be a command line interface. When I started in PCs, this is all I had. Okay, I had a CLI, I had a command line interface. We had to know to go CD / and then go dir to see what was on our computer, and then go CD user, and then go CD users, and then go to CDB pool, and then go and do a dir again to find our directory, and then go, oh, my stuff is in desktop, and I'd have to do CD desktop. And we had to know all those commands in order to do anything. We had no mouse. We had only a keyboard. We had arrow keys to move around within a document when we were editing. You guys have a GUI instead, okay? The GUI may look different between Ubuntu, Windows, but it's still a GUI, right? What are you saying, Mr. Harrison?
Horrible.
Okay. We thought it was great.
Thank you, man.
At the time, you know what we had before that? When I first got to Duke, we had punch cards.
What?
Okay? We had punch cards. We had a little machine with little cards, and it was like a typewriter. You'd type in, it would put holes in the punch cards, and you had your whole stack of punch cards. to run a program, and you'd stick them in the little reader and go zick, 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 and then read them all, and then it'd execute the code. And if you want to run somebody else's program, you go and get their punch cards, and you go, you stick them in there, you go, and then boom, 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 gonna read the program, and then run the program. That really sucked. When we got this, we're like, woohoo! This is awesome. When we saw the mouse, we were like,
What is this?
so what is this craziness? Okay, so you guys have a graphical user interface to interact with your operating system, or your OS. Who are the major manufacturers of the OS? Who's the biggest manufacturer of operating systems? The company is Microsoft. Biggest maker of operating systems. How much share do they have in the operating system market from your guys' reading?
7.2%.
Okay, I'll say 75 to 80%, somewhere around
Did I
there.
get that right?
Okay, you actually did get that right. That was in your reading down here, right? Remember we went
I
to,
totally read.
let's go to our, when we came down here, operating systems as of this month. If we added all those together, we'd get around 75 to 80% between Windows 8, Windows 7, Vista, NT, X, and XP. All those are Microsoft, and they've got 75 to 80% of the market share. Okay? What's the next biggest maker of operating systems? Apple. Right? The company is not Mac. The company is Apple, and they make these Mac OS operating systems. Okay? How much of the share do they have?
I'm gonna go with 10
About
to 15.
10% of the share. If I go in here and look at the same graph we just looked at, Mac isn't broken up on this graph. It just said of all Mac operating systems, it's right at about 10%. Why has Mac got less than Windows? I don't know if you can say Windows is better.
It gives more different variety.
Is that a good thing?
No.
Is that necessarily a good thing,
Well,
having lots of
20
options?
genres, things.
It's not like you have
It's just-
options now,
it's just
right?
like
The
saying-
now version is Windows 8. It's just nobody moves necessarily.
Whoa.
Mac is one company, okay? The only person that can make Mac computers is Apple. How many people make Microsoft?
Because not every school has like Apple computers. They
Well, it's
have-
not that. It's just that Microsoft doesn't make PCs, right? Well, now they're kind of making the Surface, but it's Dell and HP and Compaq and Gateway and a myriad of different companies make Microsoft compatible stuff. So Microsoft as an operating system has the most. What else is the fact that so many people make Microsoft compatible motherboards and CPUs and computers? What does that also create? From your business class, it creates competition. You started to say it. I'll take the C. It creates competition. What does competition do? Does competition raise or lower prices?
It lowers and higher prices.
Lowers prices usually. Okay. Is the price of a Microsoft compatible computer more or less than an Apple computer? Is this? Yeah. To the power of 2. It's usually half the price. This laptop running Windows is about half the price of a comparable laptop running Mac OS. So it's more expensive because there's no competition. If you want the Mac OS, you will buy a Macintosh product. It's not like you go and buy a Dell Mac, right? It's all an Apple Mac, so they can charge what they want to charge, and either you buy a Mac or you don't buy a Mac. What's the other operating system? Linux. Okay? We don't want to say Ubuntu because Ubuntu is just one version of Linux. But we went and looked at DistroWatch the other day to see. I know I'm going kind of fast today, but we just got posed with too much talking on the announcements. So, and we saw that there's 100 that they track, different versions of Linux. There's more than that. Okay, and Mr. Green could go and download the source code and make his own. Green's awesome Linux distro. Upload. Charge 1 penny. If I sell 1 million copies, I've made $100,000. Okay, penny a piece. That would be a good deal, right? You'd be really happy to make that. Anyway, so there's all these different distributions of Linux. Some of them are very popular, some of them are very used, but there's tons of different options. And all these operating systems provide us a GUI to control our hardware. They're all software to control our hardware. Some of them are more expensive than the others. Microsoft operating system is only cheap when it does what?
Like it broke.
It's only cheap when it comes with a PC. If you go out and buy just, I want to go buy Windows, it's pretty darn expensive.
It was $100.
Okay, if I just go and I want to go out here and I'm going to go and buy from Newegg Windows 8. I want to go just buy, oh, out of stock. How's that out of stock? Windows 8 from Newegg. $94, $99, $99, $109. If I want to go up to the Ultimate Edition up here, what are we looking at? $199 for the full version of Pro, and that's then you're going to get a CD, you get the download. Okay, and if I wanted to buy Office, on top of that, so we said $99 is the cheapest I could get it. And if I wanted to buy Office and just have Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, it's the cheapest version for $139. So the cheapest amount I could spend if I built a PC is $240 versus Linux, which is free. Right? So there are reasons maybe to look at that. And by the way, in your paper, I don't expect you to say, I love Linux, Linux is awesome. I expect you to say what you really think. Too hard for me to work, or easy, whatever. I want to know your opinion on that paper. It's an opinion paper to write. Okay, so that's what an operating system is and what it does. Okay, it lets us interact with our hardware. It loads device drivers to make the hardware components work. When we loaded both Windows and Ubuntu, we saw some things did and some things did not work. The reason they didn't work is because of device drivers. Okay, because drivers are programs, meaning it's software, that makes hardware work. Sometimes those device drivers come on the operating system. Sometimes they come in a CD with a piece of equipment that we buy. Sometimes they're available for download. There's tons of different ways to get device drivers. But they have to be loaded into our operating system for it to be able to make all the hardware work. Okay? So, anybody got a question on what operating system is and does? Okay? Explain, I'm going to stop down and skip down here. Explain what a device driver is and does. I just said it. Does anybody have a question? Again, it's a software program that we download, install, or comes with the operating system, but it runs right within the operating system to make all the hardware work. Okay? How does the operating system use BIOS information / CMOS? Basically, all I'm saying is you need to understand BIOS loads and configures everything and hands off that information to the operating system as the operating system loads. That's why the operating system will know that you have something even though it doesn't work and doesn't know exactly what it is. That's why when we loaded Windows, it had those things with yellow asterisks on it, because BIOS said, I got something, here it is, and Windows says, holy crap, I don't know what that is. I'll put an asterisk on it. Maybe the user will find it out for me, okay? That's how it gets that information, okay? So the BIOS hands off the system information to the operating system. The operating system will only know how to use it and what to do with it if it's got the device drivers for it. Okay, can you explain the boot sequence steps? We have a test today. Okay, you're being scored against the first class. Who's going to be the pen mover for your class? Okay, Max wins. Max got his hand up first. So here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna work as a class, and I'm gonna time you. You have to put the items I have on the board in order of how they happen when
Let's
they
go to the
move.
boot sequence.
Okay, this is a boot sequence thing. So Max is gonna be up
Austin, you're
here
down.
with the pen.
I have it
Pretty sure you
memorized.
did.
With the pen like this, and Max is gonna write 1, 2, 3, and if he gets it wrong, you can go and he can erase and go back. But you tell me when you're done, and then I'll tell you whether you're right, or I'll tell you how many are out of place,
Can we do it?
and then you can erase and do it again. No, Max is the man. He's got it. Okay. So let me get my
thought I
phone
would do it something
because I'm timing with my phone.
Can I erase this?
You have to beat 2 minutes and 12 seconds. It doesn't matter.
Well, you said there's something on the board that.
Hold on. Well, you gotta wait.
This is the one.
Did anybody see my phone? Where did I set my phone? It's sitting
You
out
have
here
something on the
somewhere
board.
amongst you
That's what we're
peasants.
You have,
Peasants.
like, the
Are you
list
a
of
king?
them linked in the order.
Where is my phone? Anybody see my phone?
You want me to call it?
No? Oh, it's right there. Hold on.
I'm erasing.
Hold on. You don't need to erase. We're gonna go to a new slide
I erased anyway.
anyway. Okay. So they had 2 minutes and 12 seconds, 94. 2:12:94 is what you've got to beat.
Okay. Good job, other guys.
Okay. So you're gonna hit the next button
Pick it. Wait.
and hit it again.
All right. Okay,
And
hold on.
start.
No. All right, guys.
Probably three this one.
This one?
Yeah.
That was one.
All right. Go down 3. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
2.
One below that.
I believe 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's start here. The one under the one is the very last one. All right. Yeah.
Four is minus check see much.
Yeah.
5 and 6.
By the way, these aren't all the steps. I'm just having you put these
Oh no.
steps.
Okay, no. 4 or 5 is gonna be on the very top.
And then 6 is gonna be
6, yeah,
Yes.
and then 7. Got it? Oh, I put a Z.
That's okay. Is it done?
Yes.
No. 2 of them are out of order.
What? Which one? Is it a Z?
I'm not telling you.
look at your paper you guys wrote about?
No, we're using our brains. We're using our brains.
Configures the system, completes its own loading, and starts to buy structures. Is that? Would it be? What? Maybe put 7 back, because that's definitely 7. Alright. Then change 5 and 6.
Like switch them around?
Yeah. Try that.
5's up top, and then 6.
6 is above 7.
This was 5, right? No, this was
Yeah, change at the top.
Is that right?
Now you're 4 wrong.
Gosh dang it. Alright,
Oh.
move to the back.
No, I'm just gonna do
Okay,
this.
CMOS RAM.
So
Oh, wait.
Minus up top.
BIOS checks CMOS RAM for the location of the operating system.
No.
I think that comes in right F system. Okay, you push the power button, it starts BIOS. BIOS. Power on, oh wait, no! Power on self-test comes last after the location. Alright. No, the
Change
second
3 and
one.
4.
Number 4 is gonna be alright, erase 4 and put 3.
Very
And
last
now,
one is
number
4.
yeah. No. Erase 2. Put a 4 there. No. Because post comes at the very end of BIOS. Remember?
This is a 2?
Yeah. Is that right?
You have 3 wrong now.
Dang it.
Post comes first.
No, it doesn't.
We didn't beat them.
I'm pretty sure post doesn't come
Power
first.
on self-test.
He only tells
Because that has
that.
to check
Yes.
the hardware.
That's the second one.
We're
Post
not
is
telling you
second.
anything.
Post.
No, this
There's
is
no
second,
hurry.
then
You've already
post.
lost. But
Oh, what? No. You suck.
let's get it right though.
Switch 4 and 2. Maybe that's it. And then we'll have like 1. Alright.
Now you got 2 wrong.
Oh wait, then does that mean that
This is second. It's these 2.
Is it?
Yes.
That's how it's very
Yeah, that was the exact same thing, right?
I'm not saying
Just
this
funny,
until you fill
'cause it-
numbers in.
Operating system.
Oh, you had never mind. You got 2 wrong now.
We just had 2 wrong.
You had 3 wrong.
Now we have 2 wrong.
Now you have 2 wrong again.
Okay, let's just go step by step starting from us. So you turn the power button on,
Yes.
right? Checks for power is good. Does the power on self-test, because I thought it came at the very end.
The system clock does.
Oh, maybe that's it. Because doesn't something come before it actually starts? Oh no, because BIOS has to run. Oh, that's it! BIOS can't turn on. Okay, 3 and 2 are switch. Switch 3 and 2. Switch 2 and 3. Yeah, switch it.
Didn't we already
No, we
do
didn't.
that?
We didn't. Switch it. Switch it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
What's that?
You're correct.
Oh, crap.
It can't run the self-test before it loads.
I know, I didn't read it. I was like, wait a minute. And BIOS
Okay, so we
loads.
push the power button. System clock generates clock pulses and checks the CPU.
Got it.
And then BIOS loads. After the startup BIOS loads, it runs the power on self-test. Okay.
I knew it came out with something.
And this is startup BIOS, right? It kind of loads BIOS twice. First it runs the startup BIOS, and then it loads up the full BIOS if we go into it. So then BIOS checks the CMOS RAM. This is when the full BIOS is loading the boot order, right? And then when it finds it turns over control of the OS, which loads up, and then finishes.
I knew post came after something, because I knew it wasn't second.
So we got another one here for you. Mr. Harrison can come up this
Can I
time.
do this time?
So here's the
Brian, go
steps
on.
that we just did.
No, he's gonna.
But those weren't all the steps. We've got 3 more steps, and those go up in here somewhere. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to come up here. No, Mr. Harrison got it. So we're going to slide things down and slide these 3 into the list where they go.
I don't understand what.
So these are in order. These go inside that order somewhere
So
as well.
we have the text in the contract. We need to put the final
Where
order.
it says BIOS starts controlling the operating system, take the one that says BIOS starts the process of moving the operating system.
Well, I'm really
All the way to the bottom.
Yeah,
All the way down. All the way
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go.
Move it up.
No, up,
Keep
up,
going.
up,
Yeah,
up.
way up.
Hey,
No,
put it in
where?
between
Tell
the
me
lines.
first.
You're going like a snail speed.
Where am I putting it? I don't know.
Tell you to stop.
Go up. There. No, back down.
Okay, that's
Between the 2 words that say BIOS at the start. Oh my freaking god. Put it like 4 inches down.
Calm down. Calm
4 inches
Go
down.
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 Yeah.
There.
There you go.
Well, see, I was moving slow because you didn't tell me where I'm putting it.
Okay, so
the
you're
two
saying
boxes.
BIOS checks CMOS RAM for the location of the OS, and then it starts the process of booting the OS,
Yeah.
and then it turns control over to the OS.
Yeah.
Okay. Just guys making sure that's
Well,
what
that
you're
makes
saying.
sense because it finds it, it boots it on, and then it gives control.
Boots it on.
Boots it on.
Okay, so when does it detect
Put the
and configure
This
plug
one
and play
goes,
devices?
doesn't it go?
Operating displays the starter screen. No, because
Put
you
the
haven't had a
plug and play
loading.
system where
Oh,
you were
wait.
just
I think it's up, it's above the check system.
We see the thing. And
It's after
then,
post.
Start
Where's
up
post now?
screen.
oh, I don't think it's that. No. I think it's right. Yeah, right there. I think,
Wow,
I think it's where you have it.
I'm pretty sure that's where it is.
put the
BIOS detects and configures plug and play devices. Oh, well, that's
That's
just. Oh wait, so that'd be under.
I'm gonna have to move it over.
No, I think it's under this the already dot. Yeah. Already dot. No. That goes on top of that.
He's giving himself room
I'm
to
giving
move things
room.
in. Calm down, man.
No, he doesn't need to move the top things. Everything.
Well, he's gonna have to move that up. It's not the last thing that happens, and it's fat. So
BIOS detects and configures plug and play devices and displays a message on the screen. Okay, if it displays on the screen.
I'm just showing you can give yourself more room to wherever that finger goes, which is not there, by the way. So right?
Yeah, I know.
Stop
Right
on
here.
Okay,
I
if
think
it
the
displays
plug-
messages on the screen, then wouldn't that be after the startup screen? So wouldn't it be right under the bulleted point that says the BIOS displays the startup screen?
If that was indeed in the right place, which is not.
is the plug and play.
This is
after-
not in the right
it-
place.
I'm talking.
Why would it display the startup screen after it's turned over control of the OS? It's not running.
It needs to go right here.
Is plug and play after the OS the system
thanks.
it's unloading
Okay.
it says device
So now
transfer.
it's under.
And I will tell you this one doesn't happen on a Dell BIOS. It doesn't show you. That doesn't happen. Yeah. What you see with Dell is that's what you see when that's happening.
Makes that noise too.
Okay, so that's gonna.
So like, see on Dell,
We're like
I'm
8
gonna turn
minutes.
back off. What?
We're like.
Okay.
Put that one like under the second to last,
What, this one?
I think.
So it did.
Almost wasn't big of a thing. This goes up, and then this goes down. So wait, no, this doesn't go here at all. This goes
Doesn't
down.
it go under the second?
This goes that way.
And this goes right there. Okay. So my point is, not every step. Now, if you've got a 20 on that, you pretty much alluded to all these steps. You got a 20 on the paper, or I felt bad because you have knee surgery or something. Okay, so we push the power button and it checks to see if the power is good. It checks the CPU and starts generating clock pulses. It runs this startup test and does the post. Okay, so it can't display the startup screen until it's made sure everything works. And then it displays the startup screen that we're getting the BIOS startup. So if it doesn't work, this is when it detects like bad memory, and we just get a beep, 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 beep. You don't see anything yet because it hasn't actually displayed anything. So then we get our BIOS startup screen. It detects and configures all the plug-and-play devices. So on Dell, we don't actually get that, okay? We would get the beeping right here. It's already doing the power on self-test. It's already done that. This is all we get on Dell is it's detecting those plug-and-play devices. That's what it's doing, is that screen goes over right there. We can hit F2 now to enter BIOS, but it hasn't done the plug-and-play yet, so it actually won't let us get into BIOS until it's finished detecting all the devices. So that's why even though I hit F2 already, and it says entering setup, it's still doing this because it's still doing this step before it'll get in there. Because this is where, right here, is actually where we enter BIOS, that step right there. And then if we make any changes and save something, now it's going to go back through that again. This is the spot where we're actually in BIOS. So it's going to go in. And this one actually lets us see it find stuff because it's not a Dell BIOS. So plugged it, so that's not going to start up. And there it's found everything, so now it can let us into BIOS. This one we actually, as opposed to Dell, get to see things displayed as they're finding. So we passed the power on self-test already. It's going to show us, hey, I found this, I found this, I found these drives, I just found this and this, I found this drive, done. You missed your chance to death too, okay? But that's, a non-Dell BIOS actually shows us everything. Finding this, found that, found that, found that, found that. And if I hit F2, it's still going, now past it, but if I hit F2, it's still going to finish finding stuff, and then just like with Dell, then let us into BIOS. So then it checks CMOS RAM, loads up the configuration, the operating system order, and then it's going to start looking for the operating system. And once it finds it, it starts the process of booting the operating system. Then it turns over to control the operating system, which is right here. If I had it in a matching or whatever, an order list, this is where you would say it gives it the system configuration and everything that's found. This is where it turns over that list of stuff. The OS configures the system, completes its own loading, and starts any device drivers to make everything work. And then we finally see the operating system up. Now this is when we see Windows with a little thing going on, with little colors going around. That's what it's doing there, and it's loading the device drivers, which is why sometimes you see the little Windows thing, and then all of a sudden it goes good, and it goes block, or it locks up right then, and Windows won't finish loading because it just failed on the device drivers. Happens a lot with video card drivers. Everything will look hunky-dory, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and you're like, my computer worked fine, and then all of a sudden it turned off. Well, it didn't really turn off, it just locked up on the device drivers. And then we see the operating system last. Okay? So that's the boot order sequence, and that's how it finds the operating system by the boot order. And now, how much time do we have left?
26.
20, you got more than enough time. You have 5 times as much time. I had 1 minute left to start the quiz. So I want you to go in, and I want you to go down to this quiz, which is only worth 4 points. The point of the quiz is not to give you a good or a bad grade. It's to let me see how much you've absorbed, okay? And then it also is to let you know if you have gaps. It's not obviously the whole test, but a couple of